Hello, calculus fans! Let's evaluate this double integral of 3x plus 4y squared over the region R. R is the sector of an annulus with inner radius 1, outer radius 2, and the values of theta are going to go from 0 to 3 pi over 4. It's the same annulus that we talked about previously. Now we're actually going to compute an integral over this region. Now we can describe this region just like this. So R is the set of points R theta. R goes between 1 and 2. Theta goes between 0 and 3 pi over 4. So if we use our formula for double integrals in polar coordinates, then we get this expression. The double integral over R of 3x plus 4y squared will be the integral from 0 to 3 pi over 4 of the integral from 1 to 2 of 3r cosine theta plus 4r squared sine squared theta r dr d theta. Okay, so how do we get this? So first of all, 3x turns into 3r cosine theta because the conversion from rectangular to polar tells us that x gets changed into r cosine theta. Next, 4y squared turns into 4r squared sine squared theta. That's because y turns into r sine theta. And then finally, the thing that you have to have in here when you convert from rectangular to polar coordinates is you have to have this r in the integral. This is something that's known as a scale change factor. It has to do with the size of a polar subrectangle. In order to evaluate this integral, let's first distribute the r, and now we'll evaluate the inside integral with respect to r. Okay, the antiderivatives are very straightforward. Then we have to plug in the 2 and the 1 and subtract. If we do, then we get this integral. Integral from 0 to 3 pi over 4 of 7 cosine theta plus 15 sine squared theta. Cosine theta is easy to integrate. Sine squared theta, not so easy to integrate, but we'll show how to do that. In order to integrate the sine squared, we have to use a half angle formula, and that's what we've done here. We've changed sine squared theta into 1/2 1 minus cosine 2 theta. Now it all should be fairly straightforward to antidifferentiate. This is what an antiderivative will look like. I'm going to spare you all the gory details. You can check this out. If you plug in the 0 and the 3 pi over 4, you end up with a final answer of 30 plus 28 root 2 plus 45 pi all over 8. Don't take my word for it. Double check to make sure everything looks okay. Okay, that's all for now.